Hi, it's Sarah here with a quick card, and although my card today is quite quick, this is not really one that I would say is for beginners. I'm using a lot of different supplies and I'm using dies, so you would need a cut and emboss machine or something similar. So this is one that's a quick card more for more experienced crafters. So what I'm using today is the beautiful shaped dies. These are a wonderful pack of different dies, and I've just used these two for the moment. I am featuring these as my pick of the week this week. These are have carried over to the main catalogue, so you can get these going forward, and you can also get the stamp set, which I'm also going to be using, but you won't be able to get these bundled with 10% off after the 30th of June. So now is a great time to get them if you haven't done already. And I would also point out that this is the last chance to get certain other items that are in this Abstract Beauty suite while supplies last. I can't even say for sure what's still available at the moment. I'm using the Abstract Beauty Specialty Designer Series paper today. You could do this with other papers for sure. And I'm using the adhesive backed hexagons. And again, these two things aren't going to be available. The only things that are going to be available going forward from this page is the two separate items, the dies and the stamp set. They won't be bundled. So let's have a look at our card. We've first of all got a card base, an A6 portrait card base of Blushing Bride. Now the colours in the Hello Beautiful set, Abstract Beauty suite, this colour is actually just jade, which of course has retired now. But what I've done is bring in Mint Macaron, because the two were shades of each other, so they work great here. So I've got a card front layer of Mint Macaron and one of Basic White. I've used the papers, the Abstract Beauty papers, as I say. These are a great set of papers, and these are a new size 4x6. So they're really handy. Lots of different patterns, abstract patterns on both sides. Particularly like this one because it's got the gold flecks all over it. So we've got lots of beautiful colours, and I have used that pattern and mixed it with that pattern because they've both got the Blushing Bride, and it's actually, like I say, just jade, but I'm using Mint Macaron. And all I've done is I've got a couple of scraps that are actually left over from other projects. This design, this layout, is a great way to use up those bits. So what I'm going to do, I've just got, like I say, these strips are not actually cut to a specific size. I'm not worrying about that. I'm just going to hold them together and snip across at an angle. Not too worried about how straight it is, but that just gives me the same angle on both. And I'm now going to adhere these, and then I'll trim away any excess. So I'm going to have this one here. We've already got our die cuts in Mint Macaron and Basic White, and I'm going to be placing those laid together around about there. So that looks about a good level for me to adhere this piece of DSP. So I'm going to use some wet glue, so it's just a bit easier to slide it into place. I'm not going too far onto the edge because I'm going to have a little bit of this overhanging. So I'm going to have this about here. So, and I just want to make sure that my layer is straight. So I've got that grid paper in the background that just lets me see that. And while I'm at it, I'll stick this next bit on. And again, not going so close to the edge because this is going to dip down even further. This is going to come in even further. Or is it? No, I think I want a little bit of overhang. That'll be fine. And again, just try and make sure that that's about straight. So like I say, this is a great way that you can use up scraps of DSP that you've got left over, just to make a little bit of something extra on your card front. So there we've got that. Now I'm going to bring in my thank you. I decided I didn't want to go with mint macaron because I thought it might be a little bit too pale. So I'm going with Night of Navy, which is also in this colourway. And I'm just going to stamp. This is using the thank you from the Hello Beautiful. And I'm just going to stamp this. Oops, got that a bit too inky. Stamp this onto my sentiment label here. So make sure I don't get that ink all over. And that will go there. So the dies are great because these cut and emboss. So let me just make sure that you can see that. So you can see that they've both got embossing as well as a cut shape to them. Right, so I'm going to layer these two together, and I'm going to use dimensionals for that. There's my dimensionals. And I'm going to keep my other layers flat because I'm going to put both of these onto dimensionals. So I want that like that. And we'll start to layer these up now. Bring in my seal. You can use whichever your preferred adhesive is. So I'm just going to use this to layer these up. Like I say, I'm going to lay these up flat because I'm already using a fair bit of dimension for the sentiments. So let's just get these on and try and get them all straight. When the camera's in the way, I can't always see whether things are properly straight, but let's hope so. Right, so we're going to lay those up like that. And before I put the sentiment labels on, I'm going to bring in, I'm using the Simply Elegant trim, and I'm just using some of the gold cord. And I'm just going to loop some of this around a couple of times. It loops very easily. Let's do that. And we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on here. What we can do is use those dimensionals to anchor the loops of thread. So let's see how I want this to work. So just have a couple of loops like that. And this is very much just a matter of personal preference. We just want one loop that's bigger than the other. That's the only thing that I'm really bothered about here for these. So if I then pop that one over there like that, I'll just fasten that there. I'm going to pop another dimensional just to keep things together over here. And then this. I just want to make sure that my sentiment is straight. That looks fine. And then I'm just going to finish with a few of our hexagons. I just want the green, actually just jade, and the Blushing Bride ones. And I'm just going to pop a few more. Like that. And that is my quick card for today. So like I say, this isn't so much a beginner's card, but for a beginner, you could use some of the same ideas and just use squares, rectangles that you've cut for the sentiment. So don't be put off entirely if you're a beginner crafter, but for our more experienced crafters, this still makes a quick card, uses up scraps, and we can embellish it a little bit as we want to. So I hope that that's giving you some ideas. Like I say, this is the best time to grab the bundle while you can still get 10% off, and grab some of these other accessories if they're still available. Thank you for stopping by. Please do subscribe to my channel below so that you get to see a quick card every Monday and quick tip every Friday. Thank you.